Hey everyone, happy Friday. It's Friday. Wow. Anyways, I'm really excited to be here today. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to find a mentor. So many of you have been DMing me or asking me this vital question. Really excited today because I'm going to have my mentee join us. I have known her for a long time, more than a decade, and I actually met her when she was in high school. It's a really, really, really cool story. So we're going to tell you all about it. And I've been working with her since. Yay!
I'm
Yoselin's
here.
here. Woo! So everyone, this is Yoselin. So Yoselin, I just introduced everyone that, today we're talking about how to find a mentor and that we go way back. And
Way
I'm
back.
actually
It's
here in
been
high school.
over 10 years.
Yes. No, it's crazy. Yeah, so we're really excited to have everyone with us today. And this is like just a question that everyone asks. Like, how do you find that one person, right? Or many people? And how do you find like the person that you just click with? So yeah, so I wanted to see like what your thoughts are on that.
I know it's so hard. I think even when you get to a certain age, you're like, how do I make friends?
Yeah.
And then how do you make a mentor? Like that's that's even more important, because it's an even better support system. It's somebody who truly inspires you. It's somebody who motivates you. It's an extraordinary friend. We can say that. That's a mentor.
Yeah, I mean, I still remember when we met. So we met with this program called Environ Mentors. And I think like, the viewers know that I love to volunteer, right? And I've always volunteered. And so I remember I joined the program because I really wanted to connect with a mentee. And especially I wanted a Latina mentee because in our culture, it's not costumbre to have like a mentor or building up women and women. And so I was like, I really want a Latina woman. Like, I really want to increase the pipeline. I really want to make a difference. And my purpose is to help people with their potential. I'm like, I am there to lift someone. And so I remember being there, and it was like a speed dating exercise. And I was like, I just knew, like, I met you and I'm like, I know, like, she's going to put in the work. She's going to be there. She's got energy. And this is this is my match. Yeah.
No, I totally, even you talking about it right now, the energy that you're giving off, energy is so important to me. And yeah, I just knew it was like, you were just like so devoted to it. You were so excited about it. And it was something that you were really passionate about. And I was like, I really want to work with her.
Yes, that's really important, right? You got to click, right? You have to have that click where you're like, your personalities match, your purposes align, right? What you're bringing to the table aligns. And so like, even for people who are looking for people to mentee, right? To mentor,
Yeah.
it's to look for that, right? Look for that relationship, like someone that's going to like fulfill your purpose, whatever it is. Because you want to make sure that time, right? That they're actually going to like devote that time to the process and get from you what you want them to get from you. And the same thing, right? In terms of like finding a mentor, you want to make sure that you also are getting what you want from them too. No,
Yeah.
definitely. I still remember too, I was actually talking to Paul. Paul's not here today. He's usually on the Q&As, but we still remember like even like on the plane, right, with your Emory essay being like, this girl's going to Emory. We were on a flight and
I
we were like,
know.
I am sending to her before we take off. Because I remember we were going like far. And I was like, we have to get this to her. And we were like, but you got in and you went. And that was like amazing. Yeah.
I did. And I mean, this is another thing, like, and something that you have to look for in a mentor, like not only someone that is an inspiration to you, but somebody that inspires you. And you were always that. And there was always like this mutual respect where you made me feel so important. And that just like meant the world because I was looking at you and like everything that you had accomplished, even like 10 years back, and for you to make me feel important and to like always be reinforcing that, it really meant the world and has definitely contributed to like who I am today.
That's amazing. And that fills my cup, right? Because that's great, that I was able to like inspire. And that's what I want to like to give off. But I mean, you put in the work too. I mean, that was a really important part, right? Like all the feedback, you were like, I did it. Yes, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to put my story in there. And then like, boom, you know, and then later on with your next step, you know, it was like, same thing, you put in the work. And that's how like we've kept a relationship over all the years through all of our steps in life. And the other really cool part, I think, about this is that, you know, we still keep in touch, the whole thing. And I have learned a lot from you as well. And I think that's what's nice. It's like a two-way street, you know, you have like so much wisdom and energy. And I remember a couple years ago in DC, I went to you and I was like, I need your wisdom, and you gave it to me, right? And so sometimes like we also look at like mentor relationships as top down, but they're actually not. They're very circular, right? You're showing maybe one of your skills, but then you can also showcase and help and the other person through your gifts and your skills, right? It's like, and it helps you practice, like showing your potential. Yeah. I think it's so beautiful. So what advice do you have for folks? Like if they're like, I don't even know, but I need one. Where do I go?
I mean, the first step for everything is you have to be open to it and you have to embrace it, and you have to make yourself feel a little bit uncomfortable at first, like put yourself out there, you know, and don't be afraid to ask, you know?
Yeah. I never asked this actually. Like what made you join that program?
I mean, back then I mean, even now the environment is so important. And the fact that that you could get a mentor there, I was like, I need to do this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and for me too, I was like, ooh, there's a program where there's going to be like Latinas. That was my main thing, right? Because it's really hard to find people of color or Latinas in back then, you know, like it was my main field. That was really hard. So when I saw that there was a program there, I'm like, plug in.
Yes.
And so over the years, it's been great. We've met at coffee shops, past the program, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that program was just a vehicle. And we kind of like grew that on our own. So maybe that's the advice I would give. You know, if you see a mentee mentorship program, it might not necessarily even be in your field. It might be outside, but any type of like avenue that you're looking for, just join it. You know, even if you're not like sure you're going to pursue that as a career, it gives you like a taste of it and exposure. Yeah.
Right, definitely. And this is something that we've talked about too, is that it's okay not to be sure. You have to try. You won't ever know. Like that's the reality of it.
Exactly. No, 100%. Cool. Well, this was awesome.
Yeah.
Yay!
And like we both say, it's everything good comes with hard work. Like if it's something good, it's not going to last you that long if it wasn't hard.
That's true.
You have to put in the effort.
That's true. You know, you totally do. I mean, I still remember late nights. Do you remember one time you get to my apartment? It was like really late and we were like working on this thing. And I was like traveling with a crazy travel schedule, but you were like, okay, I'm going to get here this day. And I was like, I'm going to dedicate this time. And we put in the time and we scheduled it. Like it was intentional too. And like, we also make sure to keep in touch intentionally, which is amazing too. Oh, yeah. It's so cool. I love that we're still, no, I love it. And like, and now it's like, we can actually like video all the time. I remember back then I had like this like BlackBerry. Yeah. We couldn't talk through video, right? And so, yeah. Oh, we have a question. How do you balance mentorship between personal and professional?
Well, I think that they're definitely intertwined because you have to be open personally in order for, well, this is hard because I feel like you've been more than a mentor. I think you were like the first coachee, really. It wasn't always like you were giving me advice. You wanted me to really think things through. Yeah. And you always asked me questions that got me thinking deeper, you know, that sometimes made me feel uncomfortable, like, oh my gosh, do I really want to think about this now? But they were so helpful. And so you have to be vulnerable. I read this book, I'm pretty sure it was like, I can't remember the title, but like How to Be Influential or, you know, one of those books. And you know, in the chapter about how do you connect with people, and it's about you have to really listen, and
Yeah.
you have to like be understood to understand. I'm saying this wrong, but hopefully people get the concept
Yeah.
of it. And but in order to do that, you have to be vulnerable, and to connect with people, you really do. You have to be authentic.
And the thing is, right? I mean, part of the program, right, that I have, right, in the showcase is about like finding your purpose. So much of that is personal. And the thing is, like, where you want to go in life professionally is a lot of your personal things, right? So when I tell people, like, when I coach them with their resume, CVs, and, you know, we've been through this together, right? In your career path, you got to know who you are first. Because if not, then are you just chasing a job and a title to chase a job and a title because people told you to chase that job or title, right? Or is it really about your core and like what feeds your purpose and what energizes you or anything, right? And so for me, if I were to answer that question, I think like a mentor that actually like matches has to be a little both. Doesn't mean that you have to share like, oh, your ultimate intimacy personal life, but you do have to show who you are on the inside and what your core is. And then, you know, you decide, like I think you mentioned to me, you said it earlier, it's about the trust, right? If the person showed you that your time, that you're devoted and your time, right? I forgot how you phrased it, but there was something about like building trust. And I think with trust, then you start opening that door a little bit for the personal. I mean, I saw that that's what happened to us. It wasn't immediate, the personal. It was first like, hey, what are you thinking? What do you want to do? And then it built over time. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's, of course, like at first you feel the spark, you feel the energy, like, yes, we're on the same
Yeah.
wavelength, but you want it to be deeper than that. And that's what you've done. You've always tried to like get me thinking about other things. You've exposed me to so many things. And that's what I think a good mentor does. It's tries to get to know you, and maybe it's like gives you some more resources to like look into that, but is also like, oh, because I know this about you, I think you should try this. And, you know, it teaches you so many new things.
Yeah. Yeah. And as like a mentor grounds you too. Like you learn about like how different people like learn taking your information. And also, like I said, you also mentored me too. Like I said, it's a two-way relationship. You mentored me about like family and relationships, so many things that, you know, I also needed coaching on as well. And so it's sometimes like also like that, like I think I was telling you, it's a circular relationship. As a mentee, you also have a gift, right? That you share to the world. And you can also take that opportunity to share it with them too. And take advantage of that space, safe space. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, so awesome. So I think that's good for today. I'm so excited you got to be here. And
Thank you. I love this platform. This is
this.
you.
Yeah, this is me. And so this is the first time you also sees me as social media, not as like in one-on-one. So yeah, it's my new me. So this is so cool.
Yeah. We are sending everyone so much energy, and yeah, take the time to put yourself out there and find a good mentor and put in the effort, because it is so worth it.
Yes. And Yoselin's like the master of like the best energy and optimism and everything. She's like a rock star. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Bye.